So I actually sold a few things on Depop, or a couple things, and this has been on my in my store for like a good few months, like several months actually. No, actually a few months since the beginning of the year. Pretty cool graphic. It's like this spandex type of material, but like it's like young Rihanna. Really cool. I think it's like an import shirt, but it's still it still has a tag. So sold that for a pretty good price, and then I also sold this Tommy Bahama shirt. Let me put it down. For pretty good price. They got a pretty good deal on it. Offered free shipping with like my bundles, so they got free shipping and two really cool pieces. So yeah. Hey, what is going on, y'all? I am back today. It is Monday. You saw my like my earlier clips on my video. I was looking a little bit scruffy, so I needed to do a little shaping of the goatee. So that looks a little bit better. My hair is growing in nicely, which is good. Shaved it maybe a couple weeks ago. I've been working on some Depop and some Poshmark listings today, so I'm going to share that with you all today. So I got a few cool things that I will be posting today, and if you could see that, that's my workspace. I'm trying to get that cleared out. Got a ton of things to sell, but it's like I'm finding a hard time focusing, oh shit, focusing on how to do things, like focusing on one thing at a time. There's so much information going out nowadays because of what's going on with the global situation, but trying to take it one day at a time, managing time management, and just managing myself, that's a big thing. But for the first thing I'm going to show y'all, there, got this Bears. Actually, I'm gonna switch cameras, so 1 second. You know what, I'm not usually in front of the camera, so you know what, I'm gonna be in front of the camera today. So I've got this Chicago Bears training camp, year 2000 tee. Pretty cool. It's it's on a white Gildan tee from the early 2000s, about 20 years old. Well, exactly 20 years old, but it has this cool like fading to it. Really cool vintage. And then I've got this 36-year-old graphic crew neck. I'm not a Cubs fan, but if you look at, it says Chicago 1984 NL Eastern Division champs. It says it's on a large, an XL on a Hanes tee, like an old school Hanes tee, but this is definitely not a large for an adult. It's got to be like either a kid's XL or like an adult small. So I'm gonna post that up on my Depop/Poshmark. Definitely check that out. And then I've got this Adidas Derrick Rose jersey. There's a few. it looks like they tried to iron it and it left some marks on there, so that's probably why it was at the thrift. But I'm gonna charge a really affordable price, maybe like 15 bucks for a jersey. I mean, I think that's a steal. You could barely see those marks. And then you got this skateboard tee. I had to do some research on this, but this is really dope. I wish this was in my size. Basketball skateboards, and it has a ballerina in the front, which it's like has like the content doesn't make any sense. It feels like they're trolling, but it's like such a dope t-shirt. And then I don't know who this character is. If you're like into anime, if you know this character, please share. But yeah, pretty dope tee. I wish it was in my size, but it's in a medium, so I'm probably gonna throw that up there for like 15 to 20 bucks. I think that's a pretty cool price. If not, you know, I'm always open to offers, so please share if you want to make an offer. And then I've got this Mid-America Designs Incorporated tee, and then it's pretty plain in the front. It's like it looks like a business tee in the front, but it's like the mullet of like t-shirts, right? So then you look in the back, and it has this dope ass 1961 Corvette. So dope. I don't know what year this is, but it's a single stitch. And it's printed on an Onita tee. Have no idea what year this was made, but it's so dope. Like that Corvette is awesome. Like I remember growing up, and like I would walk through like my neighborhood, and I would like point out to different cars, and I would be like, mom, is that a Corvette? Is that a Corvette? You know, and like I grew up in uptown Chicago, and like you'll never see a Corvette. Like you'll never see a Corvette in my neighborhood. And I saw one red Corvette, and I thought it was a Corvette, but it was a Camaro, which Camaros are really dope too. But I was obsessed with Corvettes when I was a kid, because like that's one of the first words that I learned when I was learning how to speak. So Corvette, that's a dope tee. Doesn't fit me. If it would have fit me, that would be in my collection. But you know, it's a cool shirt. And then I got this another Bears training camp tee, Chicago. It looks like it's from the 80s. It has that 80s vibe, that geometric shape, and then that really plain helmet. I wish there was a C on there, but really cool. As Chicago Bears football, UW Platteville. It looks like it was locally made, which even makes it more cool to me, because it's much more rare. And it's printed on a Fruit of the Loom tee, so really cool. And it's also single stitch. You know, you get those 80s vibes. So yeah, that's what I'm posting as far as like white tees on my Depop as of right now. So I definitely hope you all are doing well. I haven't really been out of the house too often, maybe like once or twice a week. If that, maybe once a week on average, just to check on my car, because my car is parked on the street. You know, part of living in like an urban setting in Chicago is like very few people have the privilege of having a driveway, of having like private parking. So I do park on the street, and unfortunately, you know, like with the situation, I do have to check on my car, you know, see if it's okay. That's part of like owning property or owning a car in Chicago, is like, you know, you definitely have to check on that every once in a while. So I check on that at least once or twice a week. What am I doing to keep my sanity? I'm watching a lot of YouTube and Netflix, of course. I mean, what else can you do? Unfortunately, I don't own a console, which would be like the prime time to have one. So like I'm definitely waiting for the PS5. PS2 was like my shit, you know, like that was the prime time in my life when I was playing a lot of video games because I was in high school, and all the coolest games came out during then, as far as like I'm concerned. So I'm waiting for the PS5 because I know it's backwards compatible. But other than that, I'm just listing a lot of things on eBay and Depop. And so I legit just finished Community, which is a really awesome show. It was just put up on Netflix maybe a couple weeks ago. A few weeks ago. And I just zoomed through all 6 seasons. I binged through it. My God, like Alison Brie is like so beautiful, like amazingly beautiful, and so many of those actors are so talented. Like, I had no idea that Joel McHale is such a funny actor. I watched him on like Talk Soup during the early 2000s, and so I thought he was really funny, but I didn't know he was such a great comedic actor. I had no idea the Russo brothers directed that show, and so like they're like the main directors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's pretty crazy. I hope some of those actors get trickled into the MCU eventually. But yeah, that's what I've been doing with my life lately. I've been trying to list a lot of things. Hopefully this eBay, Depop, and Poshmark may lead to like different opportunities to work at home and to stay at home. For right now, this is what's keeping me afloat, since there are no jobs available. I was looking for office work before this whole global situation hit, and so as soon as it hit, like everybody was just hit really hard, like as far as like work goes. And I'm no different. Like I've been like I was job searching really hard, looking for stuff, and as soon as this hits, like everybody put their life in pause for the greater good. But one of the other things that really upsets me about this whole thing is like the dark side of it, of like people trying to police each other, and telling each other what to do, and like of course you want to keep yourself safe, but like like people lashing out on like Facebook or like Instagram, or telling people like, oh, you shouldn't do this, like you're the cause of this, you're the cause of that, and like blaming each other. Like, I'm not into that. That's bullshit, like focus on yourself, and focus on your family. Like if people are irresponsible out there, in order to like, if they're irresponsible enough to catch the thing, like they're not taking the necessary precautions, and you can't control that, then don't share that negativity. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. But like, definitely look after your family. Think about your family, your friends and family, and take the necessary precautions out there, but like don't spread the negativity. I think that's just awful. There's enough awful things in the world right now, and like spreading that negativity on account of this is like, it's like it's not the way to progress our situation. I think there's still a level of civility that should be out there, and social media is like, it's like one of the primary forms of communication now, right? If not the primary form of communication, because it's like, how many people are you able to see face to face? Not many. So definitely keep that civility. Yeah, that's my rant for the day. That's my TED Talk. On another note, I'm trying to clear these out. I'm trying to find space to display these. These are such dope toys. But I gotta clear this out first. Trying to figure out what I want to keep and what I want to flip. So I'm trying to figure that out. And so like eBay is like, it's like a puzzle, you know, like trying to figure out what people want. I wish I bought more video games while I was thrifting, because like, you know, hindsight is 2020, of course. Like, who knew? Like, you know, everybody's trying to find a way to entertain themselves right now, and like, video games are flying. You know, video games are flying on eBay. Yeah, I might, if possible, I might go to my storage unit. Maybe sometime this week. I've got a ton of DVDs that I don't use, but I think they would sell in right now, you know? So maybe I might get that. I'm definitely gonna be very careful going out. I have a sewing machine, so like my mom helped me make a mask. I had the materials. I still need to learn how to like properly use a sewing machine, but it's a skill that I'm trying to perfect right now. So I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, it's just like things are just so exhausting, you know? So much media out there, so much information, and so much negativity spread around, especially with the news. I mean, of course, you have to spread the facts, but sometimes you just gotta unplug, and you just have to stay positive. There's this like dope meme that I was looking at today where it's like, it was a cool soundbite, and I hate soundbites, but like it went like this, like, stay positive, test negative. And I thought that was such a dope mantra to fit for like the climate we're in. And that's why I do all these like creative things, like, you know, like adult life doesn't get any better when you get older, like unless you're at where you want to be, right? Like unless you have a dope job, if you know, like you're in your career, you know, you don't have any issues, which everybody has issues, that's normal with growing up. But that's why I focus on like these things that people call childish, but like, you know, sometimes I just look at this display and I'm like, okay, I feel at ease, you know? And it's not that like, oh, I don't have any problems. It's just, you know, like sometimes you just need to escape from like the realities, the harshness of realities. And that's why I like action figures. That's why I like comic books. That's why I like watching YouTube shows and like sci-fi. It's like sometimes you just need to escape from like the bullshit of the world, you know? That's why I like watching wrestling. Like, it's simplistic, right? Like, and that's not a detriment to what people are doing in like wrestling, right? Like a lot of people get hurt, but like the main thing, the purpose of wrestling, for professional wrestling, is to entertain us, right? And to provide that escape from like the regular struggles of the world, right? Like when I watch a John Cena match, or like a Seth Rollins match, or a Kenny Omega match, I'm not thinking about like, oh, my bills. Like for that brief 20-minute match, I'm thinking about like, oh, this is awesome. Like I don't have to worry about this shit, because it's like, oh, this is something that, you know, like I'm taken away from all the difficulties. Yeah, that's it's been on my mind lately. I definitely, man, I miss hanging out with my siblings. I miss hanging out with my friends. You know, it's difficult. Like, you know, this is something that I've never thought that I would have to experience in my lifetime. You know, this is like, I don't know what the new normal is going to be after this. Nobody knows, right? What is the new normal? Because things aren't going to go back to like how they were, right? There's going to be a new normal after this. Who knows what that normal is going to be? You know, like, is there something that we're not You know, like there's no way that things are going to be exactly how they were before this situation happened. And that's just a crazy thing that like keeps me up at night, is like, you know, what is going to be the new normal. You know, like when I watch Doomsday Preppers, I'm like, I used to watch them and like, oh yeah, these folks are crazy, and then like now I watch them, I'm like, oh shit, like these guys were geniuses. You know, like they were totally prepared for what's going to go on. And then you know, I've been watching a lot of like tiny house shows, and like, wow, man, like wouldn't it be amazing to, you know, be in like an isolated island with like all your friends and loved ones, all the people you love, and have all the things available to you, right? But then that's also escapism, right? Like if, you know, like if you're taken away from like these harsh realities. I don't know. Had a lot on my mind lately, and I just had to get it out. People are just dealing with this in their own way, and I'm just rationalizing it the best way I could, because that's what I do. I rationalize.